Hey, it's Mac. Welcome to Holistic Health Talk. Hey, today we have a guest for y'all again. It's Keisha. She's going to talk to us about one of my herbal programs that she used. But first, let her introduce herself. Hey, Keisha, why don't you talk to our guest? Tell them who you are.
Hi, Mac. I'm so excited to be here, and so excited to talk about what we're going to talk about today because it has been a success. My name is Dr. Keisha Clark, and I know Mac from years ago. We both are into holistic health, we're into wellness. And so, any community events, especially when it comes to African Americans and their health and wellness, we find ourselves intersecting. So, we have attended workshops together. He has given workshops in libraries, in the community, at churches, at community events for Black History Month, and all throughout the year. And I find ways to find him. He does things even with government agencies partnering. And I always seem to find him. So it's always great to share space with him. He has brought me in because I am a big raw foods fanatic. I'm very big on raw foods, which was one of the things that helped me on the herbal program that Mac put me on, but also vegan and vegetarian. I started out vegetarian. Actually, I was 16 years old when I started as a vegetarian. And if you haven't, I would say start. I didn't know what I was doing at 16. So I made a lot of mistakes with nutrition intake, making sure that I had all the vitamins, nutrients, minerals that I should have. At 16, I did not have the knowledge. But I didn't have anyone to guide me either. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, originally. I now live in Mexico, but I evacuated with Hurricane Katrina to San Diego. And from living in San Diego with a large Latino population who crosses the border, I thought I'd give it a try. So I've been here 4 years now, and it's caused me to go even more into holistic health just because I don't have immediate access to my doctors in the States. And so I wanted to find out how I could help my body heal itself and just avoid having to go to allopathic doctors in Western medicine. And so Matt is a perfect person to stay in touch with, to collaborate with, and really get my health needs treated by someone that looks like me, someone that has a history of health issues that I can see, you can tell and see, as well, that he's been successful in the methods that he's used. And so it's tried and true. So what I was experiencing, and I believe it happened with Hurricane Katrina, I really believe it was the traumatic stress of Hurricane Katrina. I started to discover cystic acne, these large nodules under my jawline, hormonal acne that I had not experienced before. It was very painful. These are bumps under the skin. They don't surface, and it's just a really painful cystic type of feeling. And so I had been battling that, trying topical creams, going to a traditional dermatologist who would continue to provide me with salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide, things like that. Even, bleaching agents, hydroquinone for the blemishes that would be left, the marks in my face, the hyperpigmentation, and just years and years of that and no relief. After speaking with Mac and him doing an assessment, just finding out about my hormones and imbalances in the different systems. I really love this program he put me on because he took a holistic look at the systems of my body and how they work together.
I just want to go back, and you were talking about the nodules or the lumps, knots, whatever that was under your jaw. And you know what I'm saying? Was it like in this area, under here or something?
It was like the jawline, right
Okay.
on the jawline.
And you said you couldn't see them, but
You
I
can,
guess you
but
could
you
feel
can
them.
feel them. So
Okay.
people would look at my face or my skin and wouldn't think it. Every dermatologist I went to, or even sometimes I would tell friends like I need to do something. people will be like, you're fine. This is
Yeah.
mild, no big deal. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it
To
was a
you,
really big deal,
especially.
right? Because
Yeah.
the thing is, internally, something was wrong. That was
Yeah.
not my body operating properly. And so
Now,
even though it wasn't like I can't go out in public and I'm super depressed or I feel low self-esteem, it hadn't gone to those lengths, but
yeah.
my body was not reacting properly. So there was something
Right.
internal that my body was telling me, hey, pay attention, something's not balanced.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, I know when sometimes when I go to the doctor, and they do their exam, a lot of times they are feeling, or maybe it's the dentist, because, I'll be going to both of them. But anyway, I think they be feeling under here and say, oh, anything there? You feel anything there? And I say, no, no. And I be wondering, what the heck are they feeling for?
I think they're looking for those thyroid, that the thyroid being enlarged, or like you said,
Okay.
some cysts and things like that, right? That
Yeah.
glandular, which you did, like you did when you did the assessment, you found that it was a glandular system issue too.
Right. Well, I guess what I wanted to say too, had you went to any doctor and they made that kind of exam with you, but you were saying
Yes,
they were
yes,
saying
they
it was
did. They would.
nothing.
It was nothing. They would. I went to, of course, the primary care, and then the specialist is then next is the dermatologist. And when I began
Okay.
to ask for natural uh, advice and prescription, they plainly told me, I am trained in Western medicine, and these are the things that I can give you. If
Yeah.
you want to do things on your own, I would have to go out and seek a MAC, or some other naturopathic doctor, but they were unable to help me in that realm. And
Wow. Okay.
so it was not helpful.
Okay. Wow.
And
So,
Mac, I should tell you, the last one, I threw my hands up. He was giving me a prescription that actually was for people with high blood pressure or something like that. And he said it was proven to help with skin issues and things like this. And the side effects were horrible, meaning I would maybe suffer from low blood pressure from taking it, right?
goodness.
So I would cause myself stuff I didn't have
Yeah.
just to clear my skin up. And I'm like, I'm not trading one thing for another.
Yeah.
And the other thing that blew my mind was he said, you can't get pregnant with this because your fetus will have issues. Like, this is not a medicine you can
What?
get pregnant, right? And I'm like, I don't have children, and I'm kind of almost in my childbearing. I mean, I'm at the end of my childbearing ages, but still, like, I wouldn't want to take a medicine that would do that. And so
Yeah.
I threw my hands up, and that's when I called you, Matt, after that horrible
Okay.
consultation with that last dermatologist.
Wow, I don't blame you. I mean, especially today when you hear so much of women having their uterus taken out and, just doing things to make them less of a woman,
Black women especially.
it's like, what?
Black women especially.
Yeah, like,
Absolutely.
what is going on? So I don't blame you. So yeah, she came and asked me to do an assessment. I did an assessment on her and went through the whole rigmarole that we do. It's just a bunch of questions and things that I usually, give them a sheet and they can answer those questions. And like she said, our system is broke down. Our assessment is broke down in systems. So it kind of locates what systems need support and which ones don't need support. Because, hey, maybe some things that's going okay with you. And so after that assessment, I was able to put together a herbal program to feed those systems that needed some support. And the first one I think I talked about and told her I wanted to do a cleanse. And I know sometimes people say they do cleanse or maybe they do cleanses, through juicing or foods. But the cleanse that we have is an herbal program used with herbs that help to support, the body and give you kind of a intensive type of cleanse because it's like a 14-day cleanse, the one she was on, which was the Tao He. And I'm telling you, that cleanse is a real good cleanse because it hits all the eliminative organs, your kidneys, your liver, your blood, the colon, the whole digestive system, and things like that. So that was the first thing I recommended. And I think I remember you had called me a few times. So why don't you tell them your experience, I guess, with the cleanse?
It was great. I was really worried because I'm not a cleanse kind of girl. I don't do, like Max said, people always trying to do these quick fixes and they do these cleanses to fit into a dress or get ready for a wedding or, just a quick fix. I'm interested in long term. So I was like, I'm not a cleanse person. So this was the first time I've actually done a real cleanse. And like I said, I'm a raw food person. So that's an everyday cleanse. Okay. So my system is good in that way. So I've never done a specialized one. And I was worried with Mac because I used to hear about all these cleanses make people go to the restroom and they're always at home and they can't go to work. And I was like, Mac, I cannot live that life. And he assured me that it's not that kind.
Right.
And I was so happy. And it was not. It was very gentle for me, my experience.
Okay.
Very gentle. And I had a great experience with it.
Good, good. And then I knew the next one that we had to deal with was for the circulatory system because I put her on Partiarco, which is one of the herbs that I use quite a bit to cleanse the blood with. And how was the Partiarco? Because I know at first she had to drink the tea real strong. And I'm not sure, how she made it, because she did it at home. But, I told her over the phone how to make it. So how was that, Keisha?
Well, I'm an avid tea drinker. And so this was very normal for me. I drink teas for pleasure, but also for, just health. And so some of those teas happen to be maybe bitter. It might not be as tasty or whatever. And so can be
Yeah.
strong. And and I'm okay with that. So that was very normal for me. It reminded me of like tree bark. It looked like tree bark.
Yeah.
And I have a strainer and things like that, a tea strainer. So that was easy for me to do. So that one was easy. It was, something I could drink hot. And so it was pleasurable. It was good for me.
Okay, great. Yeah, I like using Partiaco because not only does it clean and purify the blood, but it's also antifungal, and it builds the immune system. Also, it helps build the immune system, so you don't have to worry about your immunity dropping. Like sometimes when you do a cleanse, you can, have your immune system drop if you're not supporting it. And with that Partiaco, that doesn't happen. So I know. Then I think I got you into some of the hormonal herbs and maybe some of the skin herbs. So I'm not sure if you took the FSC. You remember the FCS2 and the skin detox. Which one of those did you get into then?
I did both of them. I
Okay.
did, but it was the skin detox first, I believe, then FCS2.
Okay.
Uh, and I think when I did the skin detox, that's when the real stuff started happening.
Uh oh.
It started clearing up. It was just, I mean, like night and day. The transformation really happened with that particular one. I started seeing the difference, and my boyfriend also, talked about, I see, that stuff is working. Which one are you on now? And what is it cleansing? And I was telling him, the different things that you had written, because, my Mac had written which parts it's working on right now. Is it working on the endocrine system? Is it working on, this or that? And I was just really, really excited. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe
Hmm.
that it's working. I was just so excited about it. So
Yeah. So
that those two were really good.
was stuff like coming out of your skin? Was stuff oozing out of you? Or did you see like mucus or something in your
No,
bowel? Or,
no,
was you
no,
sweating? You
no.
know,
You know why? Because and Mac, you know about this. I'm not. I eat clean, so
yeah.
there's none of that to come out of me.
Okay.
It's just that my hormonal system was off balance, but it wasn't. I don't have that kind of stuff in my system to be coming out in that
Coming
way,
out. Yeah.
And so Mac also had me on a juicing regimen to juice and also some raw foods, and so I followed that. And so, like he said, supporting my system everything was regular. And remember, my nodules were not expressed outside of my skin, they were underneath. So they just shrunk. So they
Okay.
didn't come out, they didn't burst or,
Yeah.
surface or anything like that. So no, it was really clean. It was a
Oh,
really clean healing process.
okay. So they just kind of shrunk and you didn't
Yes,
feel them anymore.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Hmm.
Let's tell them talk a little bit about the FCS2 if you remember stuff on that because I know women really would probably like or appreciate things hormonally that maybe change for you.
Yeah, I know you talked about mood and I read a little bit. So I also, read up on the things I was taking. So I
Okay.
trust Mac, and everything he gave me. But I also did my own research. I'm a PhD, so I'm a researcher by trade. And
Good.
so I research everything. And so I was looking up those things and also trying to see other people's experiences and reviews on the products and things like that. And so I did see that this one had to do with mood and hormones, like he said, and things like that. So you know what, I think the best judge of that probably would be my boyfriend if he saw any changes in my mood or my attitude or
Okay.
anything like that. I would say that I didn't feel anything different around, the time of the month or anything. I didn't feel pain or anything like that, but I usually don't really anyway.
Yeah.
So I would say everything was good. I felt great, but I'm usually a very optimistic, happy mood person. So I can't say that I've noticed major changes in that area, but I
Okay.
would think that people around me would probably be the best judge of that.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, let me see what else did we I think did you get into the super GLA or the HSNW?
I got into the super GLA. The
Oh,
super
okay.
GLA, that's the multivitamin, correct, Matt?
Yeah, that's actually like omega-3 fatty acids it have in it, and it have some antioxidants in there, and some other things.
Okay, so that's not a multivitamin,
The
Mac.
Super GLA, I don't think is a
Oh, okay.
multivitamin. It's
Oh,
a
okay.
bunch of omega fatty acids and stuff
Oh,
that
okay. Okay.
help the body and help the
Yeah.
skin and blood and all of that.
So I'm still taking that right now.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm on that right now. So I take those currently. And so I feel great, Mac. I feel great. I usually do. And I can only imagine that those are supporting my immunity and all the areas of my health as well.
Oh, most definitely. I was talking with someone for women that's called natural changes. Is if you're menopausal or postmenopausal,
Oh, okay.
then
I'm not
yeah,
there yet, Mac. I'm
because
not there yet.
actually Betty is she used that a lot.
Okay.
She could tell you that all the good stuff on natural changes.
Okay. So I did take Super GLA. I finished that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just wanted to expound on it. I guess you said normally you already feel okay during your cycle anyway.
Yeah, and I think that again, I know that and you know that Mac has to do with the
Diet.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, the diet, the lifestyle.
Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to add a little bit on the Super GLA to let people know that Super GLA is a real good uh, product. It's basically what it is lilanic acid, gamma lilanic acid. And this is something that is like a precursor to prostaglandins in the body. It plays a role in immunity, and it also helps to support a woman's system, particularly during their cycle. And so the Super GLA was, doing things to support Keisha's mood. So, you won't have the ups and downs. And I know some of you ladies can, kind of relate to, when you have ups and you have downs and then, things like that. So the super GLA was able to support her in those areas, and especially, those that have cramps and things during a cycle. But we were just talking, and Keisha was saying her cycle is usually not, filled with those kind of things, cramps, ups and downs, because she's been vegan and vegetarian for some time. Let's talk a little bit more about. Let me see what else you were on. Well, you were on the multivitamin you mentioned too.
Yes,
Do you have that with you?
I do. It's right here.
Okay. That's super supplemental. Actually, that's a product that I take myself.
Hmm.
And I can tell you, super supplemental is great. No mean to sound like Tony out there, y'all, but I'm saying that for a reason. And I'm going to just share something about me, what happened. I'd been dealing with this racy heart for some times. And, I usually take tons and tons of supplements. I'm vegetarian. I'm not vegan, but I do get into raw vegan dishes. And, I'm really into raw vegan now because I do recipes. But anyway, I play tennis, I work out, and when I was playing tennis, I noticed, because I usually have good energy, that I was getting tired, and well, actually not tired, my heart started racing, and I had to sit down. I said, hey guys, I got to take a break. We running around on the tennis court, we play usually for about an hour and a half, and I kept sitting down to take a break. And, I didn't figure it out right then, but I had been cutting back on my supplements because I just figured, man, you spending too much money on all this stuff, $200-300 a month. Yeah, that's what I spent on supplements, 200-300 a month. So I just wanted to cut back because I wanted to do some investing in other things. And unfortunately, I wasn't taking super supplemental like I usually do. I wasn't taking a lot of my herbs and stuff because I was cutting back. And I found out that I was low on magnesium. And I tell a lot of people, usually when something's going on with you, with your body, right away, almost you're lacking some mineral. And of course, I was able to test myself to find that out, through muscle testing. And when I found that out, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I was lacking magnesium because when you have a racing heart, that could be one of the problems. And I knew that was mine because I had a bottle of magnesium on my shelf and I wasn't taking it. I had some there, but anyway, I just wanted to point that out. The super supplemental has magnesium in it. It also have calcium, and of course, it's synergistically blended, which means that all the herbs, the vitamins, and minerals that are in there, they're put in there proportionally, so no one vitamin or mineral cancels another one out or overtakes another one. And so I said, man, I started taking my super supplemental, and I was like, wow, I was feeling a lot better. Came back on the tennis court. They was like, you okay, Mac? You okay? Because we know you were taking breaks a lot last time. Like, nah, I'm okay. I was a little low on magnesium. I didn't want to tell them I wasn't taking my stuff. But anyway, I wanted to know, how does that super supplemental support and how did you feel when you was taking it?
Feel amazing, Mac. I want to just bring attention to a few things that you just talked about. The
Okay.
money, the $200 and $300. You know what? We spend that on what we want. So I just want to say the investment is worth it. When Mac gave me the full program recommendations, and I added up, how much it was. I was like, whoa, I'm not paying this much, because I'm used to my job's health coverage covering, these other prescriptions, right? And
Okay.
so my job doesn't cover natural things, holistic things. But guess what? This is good for me. And I pay for other things that I want. So why not invest in my body? Why isn't my system, important enough? So I
Yeah.
am my job, and these insurers are covering these things that will harm a fetus in my body,
Hmm.
that will give me low blood pressure. They will give me that free, and it's like, that doesn't make sense to me. So
Right.
once I put in my mind, this is an investment in my body. The money was of, I didn't think about, that in that way. So especially to me, for Black people, it's really important to change our mindsets about how we're going to, invest our dollars into our own health, into ourselves. And I wanted to also invest into a Black holistic healer, and so that was important to me to go to Mac and invest my dollars there, and trust also his expertise, because, we're fooled into thinking Western medicine is the, holy grail, and we really put off other culture, medicines and ways of healing that have been around longer and have proved to be much more successful. So it's really time for us to change our mindset and educate ourselves about that. So once you get there, then you're okay with spending your money on that. And the way that Mac's program was, it was staggered. So I had to cleanse before I had to do other stuff. So you can buy 1 or 2 at a time. You don't have to buy all 8 suggestions, if you want to, stagger it. And so Mac had it where certain ones I had to take first before adding or going to the others, and other ones I can take together, and things like that. So I did enjoy that. And I want to lastly say that I did, when I made 40 last year, I decided to get a blood test just to check and see if, like Max said, all my levels were in order, and I had a clean bill of health. So big props again to none of the things that I was taking from Mac hurt my system. Me not eating meat, I wasn't low on protein, and all of these myths that we think, and so I just want to blow those myths out the water. My blood test was perfect health, taking herbs that Mac prescribed for me, and also not eating meats and things like that, and animal products. So I'm still healthy. I'm still here. My levels are still fine. So please do your research and bust the myths about, those herbs aren't FDA approved. FDA is not your friend, okay? They approve things that hurt your fetus and that will give you low blood pressure. So I wouldn't use them as my holy grail. But again, do your own research. So yes, with the super supplement, I feel amazing, Mac. Okay. I'm in great health. I have not, in these 3 years or almost 3 years of COVID, contracted COVID. And I believe it is lifestyle, diet, of course, mental health, sleep, leisure, as Mac was talking about, tennis, waking up, meditation, mindfulness, all of that working, as he talked about, synergetically together, to ensure that you have your immunity built up and you are taking care of all the different parts of your health.
Most definitely. Yeah. I just want to let them know, I give suggestions. When I put together these herbal programs, I'm not prescribing because I'm not a doctor. Yeah, I'm a holistic health practitioner, but we make suggestions. And if you go by those suggestions, you'll be fine. And I'll have a disclaimer in my in the description, for you all, because that's important in the industry, the legality of this vitamin, or what they call a nutritional supplement industry. We give suggestions. So, hey, if any of y'all want to get on the program, hey, you just heard the testimony from Keisha. I'll be glad to entertain it. Y'all can, get a hold of me through my email, and I'll have information in all of my videos. You just look in the description, and it's information how to get in touch with me. Now, did you want to talk about anything else before we leave?
No, I think I said everything. I'm just so grateful to you, Mac. I'm grateful to have met you. I'm grateful that you have supported me during this journey, and that I can, everywhere I go, when I see, especially African American, like Mac, I'm very passionate about that community and other communities of color that are, suffering from these historical, traditional, issues that can be resolved with educating ourselves. We don't have to only use Western interventions. And so anytime I see, as he talked about, Black women talking about fibroids and things like that, I don't worry about fibroids as a Black woman. I don't worry about high blood pressure and heart disease, things that they have pegged that Black women are more likely to. You know why? Because I've changed the way I live my lifestyle so that I won't be on that track. So I have no thoughts about, me getting breast cancer. And I don't think about those things. I exempt myself from that because I have lived my lifestyle in a certain way where I'm not worried about that. So when I see my sisters suffering from fibroids or other things like that, I immediately talk about natural ways, and talk about, what are you doing? What are you eating every day? How are you taking care of yourself? Do not, as Mike said, allow those people to take your uterus out as a first option, And so, but I understand the desperation of the women when you're in so much pain, you're bleeding, you can't go out into public, you can't work, and it's just robbing you of your life. And so you get desperate. And it's like, if this is going to make it stop, let's just do it. But I would really love for us to get ahead of when it's, before it just makes you so desperate, you're willing to do anything, and then push yourself into early menopause. And like you say, basically make you feel like a man, the testosterone make you angry, make you rough, and, and so that's all I want to point out is that let's utilize our Black practitioners like Mac. Let's trust them and their expertise, and let's trust our bodies that it has what it needs to take care of itself, and that there's no one particular answer. There are several things that you can look into for your body. So I'm going to continue promoting Mac and referring people to Mac for a different opinion, than allopathic doctors would give them. So thanks, Mac, for the work you do for the community at large, the Black community. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, like we say here at Holistic Health Talk, we try to help people to live a pain-free life. And if we can manage, if you have those illnesses that they have plagued, that the African American community have, then we can help you manage it or prevent them. That's the best thing, to try to prevent all those crazy illnesses and things. Well, hey, that's all we have today, folks. Thanks for watching Holistic Health Talk.